Welcome back to my 5th video in Tableau series. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to create a dashboard from scratch. This is an example of a real project that I solve at work as a data scientist. So here I'm going to show you all the steps that I take to create it. So after watching this video, you'll be able to recreate this dashboard, add adjustments based on your own interests, and then add it to your resume to showcase your skills. Let's dive into it. To show you how to create a dashboard in Tableau, I'll be using the global superstore dataset, the same dataset that I used in my previous Tableau series. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, I highly recommend to go through those first and then get back to this video because this video is more advanced. One big piece of advice that I have is that before you go and start or create your dashboard, it's always a good practice to first create a list of questions or insight you find interesting or your audience might find it valuable or interesting. So try to write all of these questions down. And then based on those questions, try to find the right metrics or attributes in your dataset that can help you to answer those questions that you're generating. So once you have the questions and the right attributes, or we can say the answer key to those questions, then that's a time to take a moment and try to schedule a mock-up dashboard. And this is a really important step because it really helps you to visualize the end product. And also it will help you to see how usable and functional this dashboard will be before you diving into and create an actual dashboard. So for this project, this is my mock-up dashboard. So we can see that we have created a sales dashboard. We have 3 different filters at the very top. And then at the bottom of it, we have 3 different KPIs with the run charts that actually shows the trends. And then we have 3 different charts as well. We have map chart, we have bar charts, we have run charts at the very bottom. So before further ado, let's create our dashboard. As I've shown in my mock-up dashboard, at the very top of the dashboard, we have created 3 different line graphs. The first one was total sales, the second one was total profit, and then the last one was total quantity. Now I want to show you how we can create each of them separately. So the first one is the total sales. So let's look at that line graph. So as you can see, we have 2 lines. The first line, which is the bold line, is our desired year or the current year that we are living. And then we want to compare that sales of that selected or desired year to the previous year. Let's say we are living in 2024. So the bold line would be 2024, and then another line, which is a gray line, which represents the previous year, which would be 2023. And on a monthly level, we want to see the differences of the sales on a monthly level for these 2 years. So this is what we want to create, and this is a great way of demonstrating the historical data on different year or on different time frames. So to do that, I'll grab the sales to the text to see the total amount of sales, and this is the value. This is the accumulated value for all the years that we have in our dataset. And then we have the order date, which I grab and put it into the row section. And now I can see the different years and then different total sales for each of these separated years, right? But if you remember, as I've shown the mock-up graph, what we want is one, like in total, we need current year, and another year that we're looking for is the previous year. So we don't want all of these years listed in our graph, right? So to be able to select a specific year, we need to create a new calculated field. Because if we simply use order date, we'll end up getting all the years. But what we want in our line graph is just the current year versus the previous year. And that current year can be any year. And if you look at these years in our dataset, the latest year that we have is 2014. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any dataset of this superstore, global superstore, to contain the data up until our current year, which is 2024. So just assume that we are actually living in 2014. And this is the latest year that we have, or this is our current year, basically. So as I mentioned, in order to be able to select our current year, we need to create a new calculated field. So to do that, we go to this section, click on create calculated field, and we can name it to our current year sales or sale, and then I can write if year equal to order date equal to current, let's assume our current year is 2014, then sales, and then int. If you don't know how to write a function, you can simply go to the ChatGPT and ask what do you want to write and what is the end product, or what is the end function, or what exactly you really wanted to create as a calculated field in the Tableau. And ChatGPT can give you step-by-step help in order to create that proper calculated field. So it's okay if you don't know how to write the formula that I'm writing right now, but let's explain what is this one. So what I'm writing here is I'm saying if I use the year function, which basically extracts a year from the order date column in our dataset, and we say that if the year of this order date is equal to 2014, then show me the sales, the total amount of sales for that year. And then I close up this formula by inserting the end word here, and that will be it. So this is our calculated field of current year sale. So we select OK. And because we have another line in our graph which represents the previous year, we need to do the same thing to represent our previous year. So we need to create another calculated field, but this time we can name it as previous year sales, and we use almost the same formula. We say if the year of the order date is equal to 1 year before 2014 will be 2013, then sales, and then you need to have the end word in order to finish this function, and that's it. I click on OK, and now I have the current year and the previous year. And if I just drag this to my view, I can show you how it works. So I have the current sales, right? I drag it and I put it into this view show me, and suddenly we have this new metric. It shows the current sale, which is 2014, but for the rest of the years is blank, because this is just represents the current year. And then for the previous year, I can do the same thing, can put it into the show me, and now we have current year and then the previous year. But the problem here is that we don't want to manually do that each year, because let's say we have this dashboard and then we want to, like, we've created this for 2014, and the next year we want to get back to this dashboard and we wanted to change our current year to another year, right? So we really wanted to have a dashboard which is dynamic. We want these two calculated field to be dynamic instead of just manually changing like the value inside the calculated field. So each time I wanted to change the year, so I need to go to the calculate field of current year sale and change this number in order to change my desired year or change my current year, which is very time consuming, right? You don't want it to do that. You want it to have a dynamic types of calculated field so that you can easily choose different years or to choose different selected or desired years as your current year. And automatically, if you can choose the current year, so the previous year also can be clear, right? So in order to do that, in order to make these two calculated field dynamic, you need to have a parameter. So before I create a parameter, I need to have another calculated field, and I'll show you why. And we need to name it as an order date. Order date. Sorry. In the parentheses, year. What this calculated field do is select year from the order date column in our dataset. Because we have in the order date metric, if you go there, you can see we have the day, the month, the year, but what we really want is only the year. So we want to extract that. We want to have a calculated field, which basically only store the years in our dataset. So to do that, we just need to say year. We have the function year, and then our column or our metric, which is order dates, and that will be it. So now we have this calculated field. So now we can go ahead and create our parameter to make this current sale and previous sale calculated field dynamic. So I'll go and create parameter, and I can name it as a selected year, because the number, the data type for the selected year is integer. I change it to integer. And then here it says different types of value as all list range. If I choose all, what it happens is users can go ahead and like write down their desired values or desired years, which is not very good because the users don't know like how many years we have in our data set. Like they don't know about our data set. So that's why it's better to choose the list, because what it does is just show you the list of all the years available in the data set. So the users can easily scroll down and choose the one that they're curious to see in their graph. So I click on the list, and now we can see that this table actually pops up, which have the value, which shows the value and display as column. So in order to import all of the years that we have in our data set, we can just link our column order dates, or the new calculated field that I've created, and I name it as order date year. So to do that, I go to this section, it says add values from, and then I select this order date year calculated field that I just created. And now we have all the years in our data set without manually inserting anything. And in the future, if you add another year or so, it would be automatically added to this list. So you don't need to do it manually in the future. So that's a great thing. And the only thing that I need to do, if you look at the display as of the years, you can see that there is separated by a comma. So this is not the right format. So we can go ahead and change that. I select number custom. I remove the decimal places to the 0, and then include 1000 separator. I remove that as well. So now we have the correct format. So it's all good. And our current value will be our current year. So now, because our latest year is 2014, so I'll select this 2014 as our current value. And that's it. I close it. Let's press OK. Now we have this parameter, so we can go ahead and show parameter. So at the very right hand side of the page, we have this selected year parameter. So if we click on this arrow here, we can see that we have the list of the years in our data set, 2011 to 2014. So the users can easily select different years instead of just entering different years, and they don't or just guess what year is available in our data set. So now what I wanted to do is, if I click on any years here, 2012 or any year, you can see that nothing will apply on this table that we have created, right? If I choose 2013, nothing will be changes here. And the reason is why we haven't completed this process. So what we need to do is we need to go back to our current sales calculated field and insert this parameter. So instead of 2014, we need to say, if it's equal to the selected year, which can be any year, then extract this total amount of sales. So in that case, we don't need to insert or change this 2014 to any other years. That will be automatically applied to this calculated field. So now you can see that since we have already selected 2013, now we have the current year of 2013 showing up here. And then we need to apply the same thing to the previous year's sale calculated field. I'll go there, I press edit, and instead of 2013, I insert selected year. Very easy. So right now, if I go ahead and select 2014, we can see the both here. But the problem is the previous year should be 1 year before our current year, right? So one thing that we need to also add is in our previous year calculated field, I need to add -1 to subtract the current year, -1 to our previous year. So now we can see that we have our current year, which is 2014, and our previous year will be 1 year before that, which is 2013. And then the same thing applies to other years. Like now we have 2012 as a current year, and then the previous year is 2011. If you look at the mockup dashboard, the other information that we had in our very top line graph is the difference of total sales from our current year to the previous year. So to calculate that, we need to have another calculated field, and we can name it as percentage difference of sales or sale. And what we can do is we can take a sum of our current year sale and subtract this amount with sum of our previous year of sales. And because this is a percentage, we need to divide it by our previous sum of our previous year sales. Make sure that you have these sums here, because if you don't add the sum and just simply have this current year sale, what happens is Tableau go row by row and subtract the one row of current year versus the previous year of the second year or the second row, and then divide it by the total amount of sale, which is not correct. What we need to do is first to calculate the sum of all the current years, or like if we are in 2014, we need to tell Tableau to go and sum of all the values as a sales that are equal to 2014, and then do the same thing for the previous year, which is 2013, and then divide it by the sum of the previous year sale. That's a correct way of calculating the difference. If we don't include the sum, the Tableau will do this calculation row-wise, which is incorrect. So now we have this formula here. We can press OK, and if I grab it and put it into the view here, let's remove the years so that we only have the difference in sale and the current year and the previous year. And also I want to change the order, so I wanted to see the current year, the previous year, and then the difference of the sale. So we have the current year of the sales, the previous year of the sales, the difference, and then the total amount of sales. So we don't need the total of sales here, so I remove the sum of the sales. Now we have this current year sale, previous year sale, and the difference of the sale. And what we can do here is the current sale, like if you look at the mockup dashboard, it should be in 1,000 units, and it shouldn't have this separator of the numbers here. So we can format the values of the current year sale and also the difference of the sale. We want it to be in percentage and be very clean. So first let's start with the current year sale. And so if we right click on the current year sale, go to the format, go to the number custom. So we can remove any decimal places and then say 1,000, remove a separator. So now we have our current year sale in this format with the K, which represents 1,000 units. One thing that I forgot to do is if you go to the different sales calculated field, I forgot to have another parenthesis here to make the calculation in percentage. So I need to add that one as well. So now we have the current way of different sales. So if we go to the different sale format, number, percentage, so we can get to this decimal places of 1. So we can see that we have only one decimal place, and now we have everything we need for this part. So we have the current sale in 1,000, the previous year. We don't want it to into that line graph that we have. We only need the different sale and the current year sale. So if you look at the mockup dashboard again, like in total sale, we have different information. At the very top, we have 3 different information: the total amount, the current sale value, and the different sale. All of these information are actually in the title of the this view page or this view section here. And then we have a line graph at the very bottom of it, right? So let's first create the line graph. So we can name this as test page, and then grab this and put it here, and then we have this as KPI sale. So in this sheet, I want to show you how we can actually create our actual graph. So to do that, we can drag the order date to the column, and then we also need our current sale, which is here, but This is in year. We need to change it to the months. Now we have the current year sales over different months. And then instead of these names of the different months, I want it to be in continuous format, which is the numbers instead of the text or the name of the actual months. So we have everything in terms of the graph or the current year of the sales graph. And then at the title, we wanted to add all the information we had in our mockup table, in our mockup dashboard. So I click on it. I can change the name of it to, we had total sales. And then in order to insert the rest of the metric, we can go ahead and press insert and then add different values. But since we haven't added those metrics in our marks, we cannot see these in the insert section. So what we need to do is go back and drag the current sale years to the marks area and also the different sale. So now if I go back and go to the second line and then press insert, I can see that I have this sum of current year sales. And then in the third line, we had the total of different sales. So I can add this one easily in here. And then I click on apply, and now we'll get all the values. Don't worry if you can see the different ranges of value, which doesn't make sense. We'll edit this. What it does is, because this is a line graph, it would automatically show the total of current sales in ranges from mean to max value. So the max value is this value here, and then the mean is this one. So first we can go and start and change the format of the percentage value of the difference between the current and the previous year. So to do that, I'll go to this metrics here, right click and go to the format, and then go to the numbers. This is the percentage, so I'll go to this section. 1 decimal is enough. And then if you notice in the mockup table, in our mockup dashboard, we've had an arrow. I've added an arrow that shows if the current year sale is greater than the previous year or vice versa. So if you go to the description box of this video, I'll insert the exact icon that you need to use it in order to get that exact icon in your dashboard. So you can go there and easily copy and paste it into this custom section here. So you go here and then copy paste it here. So now we can see that we have these different icons here, which shows if our current year has increased in terms of the sales, or our previous year have the greater value than our current year. So now this part is done, and then I go back to edit this current sale value format. So to do that, I go to this metric here and then go to the format, numbers, number custom, and then we actually need to choose thousands. For prefix, we can use $, and then without any decimal places, and remove thousands. And we have this all okay. And in terms of removing these ranges, what we can do is we can go here and click on this sum of current sale metric, and we need to add this parenthesis here. And if we do that, we can fix the issue. And what this does is basically make it sure we don't have a range. It's a fixed value. We don't need to see the min or max value in our second line. What we need to do is just the total or the sum of the current year value, and that's it. So if I click OK, and then we do the same thing for the percentage of the difference. If you left click on it and then do the same thing as you did above this metric, you'll get it done. And then you go back to the title. You need to remove these that you've already inserted and insert the correct one. So I go here to the second line, click on the insert, and then choose the correct format, which is this one here. And then the last line, I'll go and insert the current format of the different sale. And if I click now, I'll get the right values. I don't have any range of values anymore. So I just have a total of the current sale value in thousands unit, and then the difference between the current and then the previous year. So we can remove the two decimal of these different cells by going back to this format and custom, and instead of having 2 zeros, if you remove one of them, so we can simply convert it to only one decimal, and now it's working great. So what we are missing here is the second line, which shows the previous line. So we can simply go ahead and add the previous year cell into this measure area here. So now we have the both in different colors, and then we need to go back to this title and do some format changes. You can go ahead and do any types of sizes or format you wanted to have in your dashboard. This is very personal, so you don't need to follow my orders here. So for the second line, I wanted to have it in bold, a bigger size, probably 20. Semi-bold would be okay. And then for the third one, probably Tableau medium is the good choice, or I can put it as it is here and press apply. Probably I'll change this light to the medium as well. So now this is what we have. Maybe it's better to make it light, and then this one in bold or semi-bold. I cannot find. Okay, yeah, it's over here. And then this one as semi-bold, probably it's a better choice. And then we can add versus this amount versus the previous year, and make this less dark. Maybe this gray works, and let us see how it works. Yeah, still it's pretty big, so we can go ahead and change it probably to 12. Let's see how it looks like. Yeah, 12, it's better because we want to see the total of the cells in bigger size, and then this part which shows the versus previous year, it's not very important. So let's see if I can also making it, this is 15. Also we can change this smaller. So now we have our focus more toward our total cell and the difference one. If this is 12, maybe even smaller, maybe 10. Yeah, now it's perfect. So the next thing that we need to be able to see the minimum and maximum of the cells in our line graphs, to show that we need to create another calculated field. So we can name it as mean max sales, and say, I already have it, so I can copy and paste it and walk you through how this function works. What we want to do is to go through our current year sale metric and extract the minimum and maximum value out of it, right? So I'm saying here, if sum of current year sale is equal to the window max sum of current year sale, that means go ahead and extract the maximum value from the current year sale metric. And once you extract that value, I want to see that value. So that's why after then I have this sum of current year sale. And then I put this else if condition function here to say my next condition is to go and find a minimum value in my current year sale metric. So I'll copy paste the same formula, but instead of having window max, I now have window mean in order to search for the minimum value in our current year sale metric or column. So once you've found the minimum value, then go and extract that value, or want to see that value, and then you end the function. So what it does, it just go and find the minimum and maximum value in your current sale column or calculated field that you've already created. And once I say okay, now I have this metric, and I can simply go and drag it into the rows. Now you can see that we have two separate sections in my graph. What we want is to overlapping these two circles on our line graphs. So to do that, first we go to this mark section, go to the min and max section part. First I want to go to the size and make the size of the circle a little bit bigger, probably bigger. And then, yeah, I guess this size is okay. And then go back to our measure values mark section and make sure that we have selected the line. So after I'm overlapping it, so everything is clear. And so to do the overlapping, we need to do or use the dual axis. So you go to the min and max cells up here and right click and then select dual axis. So now we have the minimum and maximum here. So what we can do is we can remove this header here. Same thing for the left side. As you can see, we have different lines going through our charts, like horizontal, vertical. So it's better to remove all of this to make it more clear. So I'll right click on our view and go to the format, and then go to the rows or sheet probably, and then go to this section and make sure that everything is selected as none. So we don't have any lines in our column divider. Same thing for our columns, and then the sheet. And then we go to this section here and remove the grid lines to make sure everything is clean and great. And 0 lines, don't have that. And all good. So I'll remove this null representing here, hide indicator. We don't need this title of the x-axis, so I right click on it and then remove the title. And close it. And also, these are the numbers, but we want to see the months, the name of the month. So what we can do is I can right click on it, go to the format, go to the dates, and use abbreviation. So now we have the different months in abbreviated way. So what I don't want to have is the list of all of the months here. I wanted to only see the first month, December until January, to make it less crowded. So I go to the edit axis, and then we need to go to the tick marks, fix, and then select the first, and then December, and that's it. Close the window here. Now we can see that we have January to December, so it's clear, it's not crowded, and all great. So what we can do here is to change the color of this current year sale and previous sales, and also the color of the min and max to make it like obvious that we're talking about the minimum and the maximum. So now I want to change the color of the current and the previous year. So we can click on these measure names here, and this window will pop up. And for the current cell, I wanted to have a dark color, a dark black color. So what we can do, we can click on this cell, and this window of different colors will pop up. And I wanted to have this basic black color for that. So we already have it in our custom colors. If we don't have it, we can click on add to the custom color and click OK. So now we have this current year cell in black color, and for the previous cells I wanted to have this gray color here. And let's apply and see how it looks like. Okay, now it's great because we have our current year in the bold or very dark color, and then the gray one, it shows the previous year, so it's readable, it's easy to understand. And the next thing that I want to change is the color of this minimum and maximum. For minimum, I think that the color of this color, it works okay, but for the maximum, I'm thinking about green color. So to change the color of this min and max value, what you can do is to hold the control and grab this min and max cells and go to this min and max cells under marks and put it into this color section. Hold control, drag this and put it here. And then go to the edit color, change the automatic to the red and green, and step color 2 would be enough because we have one min and one max. And then for the max color, we can choose green color. You can choose different color as well, but this is very personal. I can choose this green for the max value and then OK. And then for the min value, I can go ahead and choose the red color. And then we have the both min and max color applies here, and then click apply. And then you go back to the color and mix it and go to this opacity here to make it less bold. Maybe 72 or less than that would be okay. And yeah, so now we have the color of this min and max, and also the red color for the current year and the previous year. The only thing it left here is this tooltip. So when I actually put my arrow into different part of this line chart, you can see we have different information, months of the order date, but it's not in the correct format. I want it to be more organized and clear. So we go to the tooltip, remove whatever we have here. So inside this window, we can say sales of, then we wanted to see which months we are referring to. So if I go to the insert, I can see this months of order date. So I can insert that. And then what I want to also see when I hover over each of the points, I want to see which year, like the exact year of the current year. So to do that, we need to create another calculate field, because we cannot just use the selected year parameter here, because if we do that, it would show the same year for the previous and the current year, which is not correct, right? So we need to create a new calculated field. So I can close this one, go to this create calculate field, and then say current year, and then just select year. If you remember, we've already created this calculated field, which basically it will extract the year from the order date column that we have. So we just use it here to be able to see our the year that we've selected in our parameter. So this is about it, and then I play OK, and I can duplicate this one, and then go to the edit and change the name of it, and say this is the previous year. And for previous year, we just need to subtract that to 1. And perfect. So now if we go back to the tooltip, now, before that we need to import it to this marks area. So we have everything and marks area. So we need to drag and put it here, current year, and then the previous year. The other thing that I want to mention here, these are under measure section, the current year and the previous year. So we need to change that, because automatically when you create any calculated field, it will be pop up in the measure area, but you can change it to the dimension if that's the case for it. So we can easily do that by selecting convert to dimension, so we can put it into dimension. So once we have converted those metrics to dimension, we go back to this marks all and then tooltip, and it's just start from scratch. So we have sales of, we wanted to have the months of the order date, and then we wanted to have our current year, which is here, and then semicolon, and then after that we wanted to see the actual sale value. So if I go back, I can see I have it already dragged it under marks. If you cannot see it in here, what you can do is you can go ahead and drag it from the measures and put it under this area, under marks. So after that we can have access into the insert. And then for the second line, we wanted to do the same thing, but for the previous year. So we'll say sales of, we have the months of order date, and then we need to have the previous year. Let me see if I have the previous year. Okay, I forgot to put it under marks. So for the previous year, I need to go and search it here. I need to put it here. And now if I go back to the tooltip, you can find it in the insert. Where is the previous year? Okay, it's over here. And then same thing, I need the sum of sales of the previous year. I don't have the sum of previous year, so again, I need to go ahead and drag the previous year sale under marks to be able to insert here. Oh, this is showing in red. Let me have the previous year again. So to do that, I just need to drag the previous year and put it under marks and go back to the tooltip and find it in the insert. So previous year, it's over here. And then sales difference, that's another information we wanted to have. Sales difference. And then insert the percentage. You don't want to use this window. You just wanted to use the simple format, which I don't have it right now under marks. So again, I need to go ahead and drag it and put it under marks as well. So we'll go and do it. And then you go back to the tooltip, insert it, and you can have it here, aggregated. This is the right one. You don't want to use it with this window function that we've created in order to be able to manage not having the ranges of different values in our title area. So I just used aggregated this one. And there we go. And then for the last line, we wanted to see the highest and lowest sales, median max sales. And let's click and see how it looks like. So as you can see, we have sales of February, the month, and then the year, and then the amount of the current sales. And then the second line, we have the same format, but for the previous year. And then we have sales difference and highest and lowest. So I need to format the highest. I need to put it in lowercase. Okay. And so we have everything here, but we need to change or update or format the number value. So the first one is okay. We have the $, we have the K1000 unit, but for the previous year we don't have that. So we can go ahead and change it. So for that is for the previous year, right? So if we go to the marks all and then sum of the previous year, right click, go to the format and go to the pane, numbers, custom numbers, and put it 0, 1000 without any separator and $. Now we have it in the correct format. And for the cell differences, it's better to have only one decimal, so we do the same changes. So it was for the cell difference, so we go here, format, number, only remove 1 0, 1 is enough. So now we have it in this format, which is okay. And then we need to also update the highest and lowest sales amount as well. So we go back, we go to this min and max, or we can do it through the all, doesn't matter, to be honest. So for the min and max, we go to this marks here. It says min and max sales. And then right click, format, number, custom. We first remove all the decimal, and then that's okay. 1000, prefix $. Remove the separator, so now we have it in the right format, so all the cells have the $, and then the 1000 units, and it's all good. So next I want to make this explanation in a different color. Let's say gray. It looks okay. And now we have all this information like this, so it's readable. So there are some errors. Let's go to the tooltip and include the S as well. So now it's better. We can add a space, little bit of space as well. This color is not a place. A little bit of space is better. And I think now we are in the great shape. Sounds great. So now we have everything in terms of the total sale line graph. And if you look at the mockup dashboard, we have the two similar part as well, which is completely similar to what I've done, but it just with different KPIs. You can go ahead and do the same steps that I took here to create total profit and the line graphs for that, and also for the total quantity. You just need to follow the same step that I've just shown you here for total sales. And after that, we can move on to the others graph for our dashboard. So if you go back and see what are the other charts or graph that we have in our mockup dashboard, we can see that there is another line graph, which basically shows the overall trends across all the years that we have for different KPIs. And when I say different KPIs, I'm talking about sales, profit, and quantity. So the good thing about this graph is that we can simply see the trends over different years at the same time. So we can easily compare the performance of a specific KPI across specific years and see everything in one graph. So now I want to show you how we can get that or create that graph. So if you think about it, what we need here is another parameter that enable the user to select their desired KPIs. As I mentioned, we have 3 different KPIs based on the different metrics and color we have in dataset. And if we wanted to make it very dynamic and user-friendly, so we need another parameter. So let's go and create that parameter. So I'll name it as, let's say, select KPI. And then I select a string because I want to manually insert different values or terms, I would say. So the first one is sales, the second one is profit, and then the third one is quantity. Okay. This is what we can see in our dashboard in order that our user or anyone can easily select what type of KPI they want to see over time in that line graph. So we have everything in the right place. So I just need to just get this upper. Okay. So now you just click on OK, and I can select show parameter to see what I'm talking about. So now the user can easily select any types of KPI they want to see in the graph. But we also need a new calculated field to be able to calculate and show all of these KPIs values in our graph. So to do that, we need to have another calculated field, which includes all of the 3 KPIs. So for the name of this, I can say selected KPI value. So I already have it, so I just copy and paste it here. So what this function does, it says case select KPI. So the KPI is the parameter that we have just created. So if a user selected any of these KPI, and if that is quantity, what I want to see is the value of the quantity. When it's profit, then go and grab profit. If it's sales, go and take sales. And then I use int to finalize or complete this function. So what it does exactly, first, it goes and understands the user's selected which KPI, and then it goes and extract that value in order to show it in the graph. So to create our graph, what we need is this selected KPI in the rows, and then we also need our order date in the color to be able to see different years in different color as well in one graph. And then in the marks, what else I need to put? Then I need to have my order date into column in months. And now we can see that we have metric sales. We can choose another metric, let's say profit. But let's get back to the sales for different years. So if I put the order date in the filter and include all the years and say apply and then show, so we can see that you can select different one in order to, if you wanted to just see one of them, or you can select all to have everything in the same place. And what else we need? So we already have this graph. The thing that you can do is to change this name to the abbreviation format. So you go to the format, date, abbreviation to make it more clear, and you can remove these labels here, and then you can go ahead and remove these horizontal lines that goes through the graph. So if I click to the main space, and then go to this grid lines none, so we have nothing in our graph. And you can also go and make sure that everything here is none as well. Row wise, we don't have anything. Column wise, we don't have anything. Okay. And the only thing that I'm thinking about is this tooltip here. So when I hover over any of this color or any of these years, you can see what I can see the month, the year, and the selected KPI value. But I want to format how it looks like right now. So we need to go to the tooltip. Let's remove everything from the tooltip, and I already created this worksheet, so I copy and paste what I wrote in that one. So I wanted to write months and a year of the order date. So I need to insert the months, which is here, and then the year as well. If I don't know if I already have it right now. No, I need to add that to the marks area. So I go back and I'll grab the order date here and put it into the tooltip. So now we can have it here, the order date. Oh, sorry. I need to insert it here. Order date, let's see how it looks like. Okay, I need to format the year. If I go back there, maybe I can do it over here. Sorry, this one, format, pane, custom, nothing. Most of later, let's see how it looks like. Yeah, now it's okay. And then what you want to also see is based on what the user selects, we want to see the name of that KPI and also the value. So for that, I can say I wanted to, again, I need to insert that because I don't have it under marks. I need this KPI under marks and also this one here. So now that I go to the tooltip, I can easily insert them. Make sure that you're on the right line. So now I can insert the selected, not that one. I parameter at this one, and then the actual value, which is this one. Now let's see how it looks like. Okay, yeah, I need to change the format of the value, and also I need to add some space between them. So I can do that, and then format, custom. So this is okay. Prefix no. No, we cannot put the prefix dollar because the quantity can't be in dollar. Right. Let's say how it looks like there. Yes. So we have the sales and the month and year of the order date. February 2024, 2013, and everything. Okay. Now it looks okay. The only thing is left is to make it bold. So I can make them bold. I think the color is not the right color. So I need to make them black as well. Yeah, now it's okay. So the other thing that I want to do is to change the color of these lines. So if I click on this one, or probably edit colors. So we can change the color of each one. So for 2014, I want to choose green. And then for 2011, I want to choose red. We have another red, so I need to change that one as well. 2013, let's say blue, and then let's see how it looks like. Yeah, so we have green, blue, yellow, and red. Okay. You can also add the years beside each line to make it more clear. So to do that, you just need to grab the order date year and put it into the label. So now you have different years also showing beside each lines. So now, like, the goal of this graph is that we can easily see the trends over all the years instead of just comparing 2 years or a couple of them, not all of them. So now I can easily see the trends. Like, I can easily see that in 2014, like, we have the highest sales or any types of KPIs versus the rest of the years. And then the least, or the worst time is 2011, that we have the least sales values across the different months. So that's very easy to compare all of the years that you have in one graph. And finally, you can remove the name of the title if you would like. So I'll remove that. And then I also name this sheet as line chart. You can change it to any name that you would like. Okay. So now I want to show you the next graph that we have in our mockup table, and that was a map graph. So to do that, we need country into the marks. And then for this, I actually created another calculated field. It's called profit margin. In my previous video, I explained about this profit margin, what it is, but right now I'll give you a very brief explanation about that. So profit margin is a percentage of a profit a company makes from its revenue. So we can easily create that by going to the calculated field, and I can name this to profit margin. Sorry, profit margin. And to calculate this is a percentage, so we need to have the sum of profit, since this is a percentage, then divided by the sales, sum of the sale. And there we go, we have our profit margin here, and then I'll press OK. But what I want to see in this graph is percentage of the profit margin across different countries. But I also want it to be in different colors, so I can easily pick up that which country has the highest gain or has the lowest gain or has the highest loss. So I can easily see by just looking at this map. So for that, I need profit margin to the color, and you can see that automatically we have what I just requested, right? So we have different colors, color of the profit margin, which basically shows like which one has the highest or lowest, but right now it's not very clear, so we are going to change the color to make it much more clear. So to do that, I'll go to the color, edit, change it from automatic to red and green to be matched with the other color that I'm using in different graphs that I've created. So I'll click on that, and it's better to divide it to a stepped color, probably in 6 to be even. So because the reason why I'm doing this, because you really wanted to see the difference in terms of the profit margin. If you make it in 2, it's really hard to see the difference, especially if you have the whole countries. So I think 6, it's a reasonable division that we can have here. And also what I would also recommend is to make this at the center and then start from minus 0.5 to 0.5, to just make the coloring even and very clear. And then once I click apply, now we have this nice color of different profit margin, which is more clear. So we can see that those that are in darker color of green have highest profit margin, but once we're getting to this color, which is minus, normally we have minus profit margin, that means we have a large loss in our any products that we're selling. Like this color as well, you can see it's have a less amount of loss than these very dark red, but you can easily see that. Like you can, like different countries have distinct color that that your eyes can pick that very easily. So that's a very important thing to notice when you are choosing your color. And so just make sure that they are distinct, so you can easily see the differences across different countries. So we can see that here we have the good profit, etc. So the other thing is, once I'll hover over, you can see that the profit margin are not in percentage, so we need to change that. I'll go to the format, pane, number, percentage, 1 is okay. So now it's better. So now we can see here we have a large amount of loss here as well, and Russia has good percentage, 27%. Ethiopia, it's better, even better, and other countries. So it's very clear and neat. So that's all we need for our map. Also, we can add region as a filter to enable to choose different region. So if I drag it to the filter, I can select use all, apply, okay, and then show filter. It's better to, because once you have a lot, like different strings or different numbers, it's better to make it drop down, multiple values drop down, so you can easily select. So I think it's better to make it a single value drop down. So if users want to only see on a specific country, let's say Canada, so they can focus on it and see exactly what is the profit margin. The next graph in our mockup dashboard is bar chart. So I want to show you how we can create that one. So we need a category and subcategory. So if I go to the dimension, I can see the category. So I put it into the rows. And then I wanted to see subcategories as well. For subcategories, I can do the same, put it into the row. And then what I want to see here is the profit margin, which I have it. It goes to the column. And then, so you can see that you can easily see the different profit margin here, but it's not very clear in terms of the color because we don't know if this is a loss or not. Very quickly, we need to like exactly see the x-axis values to figure out that these are the loss because these are minus. So I'll make this better. I can make these wider, a little bit wider. Okay, so now we have these. And also what I was thinking about, I need another metric that actually show you at least one reason behind a loss or a gain in terms of the profit margin to make it more informative. So the only metric that I found it can be connected and it can be a reason behind a loss or a profit, I thought it might be discount, because if we run a very high amount of discount, that can be one reason that we have a low amount of profit margin. And I researched about it in the data set and I found out that would be a good example to put it beside this bar chart. But what I thought, it's better to have an average of the discount instead of the actual value. So you can go ahead and get the discount value and put it into the rows again. But you can change it here to the average, I believe, if I click on it here. And then if you go in this measure sum, you can change it to the average. So now you have the average of the discount. So you can see that these category, which is related to the furniture and tables, has the highest amount of loss. And if you look at the discount, it has the highest discount value as well. So that's why I was very curious. And it was very interesting to me to put these two together to convey some reason behind why we have a large amount of loss or high amount of gain here. You can play around and choose another metric if you would like, but that was my logic. So we have these, all of the metrics in the columns and the rows. And the other thing that I want to make it better is the color. I want it to be more clear and readable to our audience. So for that, I want to start from the profit margin. So we go to the profit margin, color, and I guess it's better to go to the edit. We don't drag it to the profit margin. All right, so what we can do is we can drag the profit margin to the color first, and then we can click on color, edit, and then change it to, again, red and blue to red and green, sorry, because we have already chose this color. I really want it to be, all of my coloring, I really want it to be similar to each other to not distract the audience. So red and green again, but here I think the step 5 will be okay. And for the advanced, I just wanted to put in the 0 to make sure we have even split of different colors. Apply. Okay, so now it's better. You can see that the loss it's more towards red. The very dark green, it shows the highest or the more profit margin. So now it looks okay. I want to do the same changes to the average of discount. So I go to the average of discount. You need to drag the actual discount, the color as well. Make sure that this is average. And then go to the color, edit color, change it to the same red and green. The step 5 is okay. Make sure that this is in center. And there we go. The color is not what I want. I forgot to change one thing. So if I go to this color, edit color, make sure that this center is 0 to make the coloring even. Now it makes it more sense because, I mean, we don't need to have it red here because all we have is a positive numbers. Like we have different discount values, but I don't really need to have a color close to this red color here to make it to show actually we have a low discount value, because I think it would distract or it's not very meaningful because we don't have minus discount here. So it's better to make it green and have different range of green color in this graph. So we have this one, so we can clearly see that the one that has the darkest green, which shows the highest discount, for that we have the lowest, or we have the highest amount of loss. The only thing that I want to do some formatting is the tooltip. So if I go to the tooltip, there are a larger space between category and the actual name of the category. We have subcategory. I actually clicked on the wrong one. So I need to go to the all under marks and then click on the tooltip. So I remove the large gap between category and then we have subcategory. It's okay, but I wanted to have profit margin first and then discount value. So I'll change it and make sure that they all have one space. So the other thing that I wanted to have in my tooltip is the quantity. I want to see the quantity as well. So I'll grab it and put it into the tooltip. And then if I go to the tooltip again, I can insert that. So we'll go to the last line, insert sum of quantity, and I can say quantity I can make it to gray or something like that. And then insert the sum of quantity here. This should be a darker color. And also bold. It should be okay right now. All right, so the last piece is to just change the format of the values. So for profit margin, we need to have a percentage. For average of discount, again, percentage, and the quantity in thousand. So let's do that. Go to the for the discount, we can the percentage. I wanted to prefer to have no decimal values, okay, and for the margin as well. Format, percentage, 0. Then the last one is the quantity. Format, number, 0, 1000, and that's it. So we have the name of the category, subcategory, profit margin, average of the discount, and the quantity. So this is the final look of the sales dashboard. And right now I'm going to show you how you can create such dashboard. So to create this page, first you need to click on this icon here. If you hover your mouse over this area here, this is it shows new dashboard. So that's where you need to go ahead and create your dashboard. So if you click on it, you can start your creating your dashboard. So already I've created one. So go back to this page, dashboard number 2. And because we have a lot of graph and different types of charts, it's really important to have a good size of view in your dashboard. So go ahead and change dashboard size. So it's better to make it 1/500 to include everything, but you can play around and choose the one that fits for your types of graph. So I guess this fits and height, it would works for me. So you can see that now the main page is wider, so it's easier for you to include different types of graph. So if you look at the mockup dashboard on the screen, you can see that we have one big vertical container, and then within that one big vertical container, we have 4 different horizontal containers. So I want to show you how you can create each of them. So the vertical is here, so I just drag it and put it into the main view section. And also consider that after you create any types of container, you need to add blank, which is here, or text, and these are a placeholder for any types of information you wanted to include in that specific container. So because this is my main vertical or the main types of container in my page, so it can be any types of data, so I'll just leave it as a blank. I just include or drag the blank to the first vertical container, and if you go to the layout, you can actually see that. Under tile, you can see that you have the vertical container, and within that vertical you have blank. So you can go ahead and easily add more information or charts or different types of container as well. So go back to the dashboard, and since we have 4 different horizontal containers, so I want to create my first horizontal container that includes the title of my dashboard. So I go ahead and drag horizontal and then put it at right top probably. And because this is I want to include my text information, I just drag the text and put it there. And now you can add your information like sales dashboard. Okay, now I have my title, and below my first horizontal container, I wanted to have my second horizontal container. So I go ahead and drag the second one and put it underneath my first horizontal container. And this one is for all of the 3 main KPIs that we've created, right? We have 3 different KPIs like total sales, total profit, and a quantity with 3 different line charts. So that's what I'm talking about. So within that, I need to have a blank. Let me see if I already added. Yeah, so we have the vertical, we have the horizontal, which includes our text information, and then I add the second horizontal, and then within that I already add a blank, or no, that's the second one. Okay, no, I need to add blank within this second horizontal. You can make it a little bit bigger, and because again we have 3 different line chart, I need to divide them into 3. So this is 1, this is 2, and we have 3 horizontal container, or 3 blanks, which includes 3 different graphs within this horizontal container. So for the map and the bar chart, we need another horizontal container, so I'll go ahead and drag this and put it exactly below my second horizontal container. And again, because there are charts, I'll grab and drag the blank within that, increase the size. And because there are two different graphs, so I divide them in two by adding one more blank. And then at the very end, we have our line chart. Yeah. So let's double check if we have everything included. So we have vertical, which is our main container. Within that, we have our first horizontal container, which includes our title, and then we have our second horizontal container. Within that, we have three different blanks. You can name them to make it more readable, but I don't have enough time to go ahead and do that. But you can, I would suggest to name them so that you can easily understand which one is which container is related to what part of this whole dashboard. So it makes it easier for you to do additional formatting or any types of changes in the future. So so we have the second horizontal container, which includes all the three blanks, and then the third one includes the two blanks, and then this blank is related to the vertical container. Okay, I'll go ahead and create my last horizontal container. So I grab it, put it under here, and because this includes only one graph, I just put it as one. Let me see if I create it correctly. Yes, I have horizontal and then one blank. Okay, all good. So now it's time to include all of my graphs that I've already created inside each of these placeholders. So I'll start from my sales KPI. So I just need to drag it and put it here. So there we go. We have all the filters and every legend that we have already created, but just keep those that you really wanted to have in your dashboard. We don't need this one, so I'll remove it. We don't need the measure names. We need the select here, so I'll just leave it here, but I just make it a little bit smaller. But we need to change the location of it in the future. So we have the total sales. We need to have our profit KPI. It goes here, and then we need our KPI quantity as well. You can go ahead and remove the rest because whenever you drag it in your horizontal container, it would create another space. So can go ahead and remove them. So now you have all of the three main KPIs, and you can see for each of them we had different filters. That's why we have it duplicated here, but you can go ahead and remove them because we don't want to include them in our final dashboard. But we need this select here, so I'll just keep it here. We can make the size smaller for now. Okay, so all right, so now what also I need is my map. So I just add my map within this. Oh, so I just need my map to go there, and then also my bar chart to go there as well. Just need to make them size bigger. And also remove any unnecessary legend here. We need region, so I'll keep that. Okay. So we have the select here and region, so we'll keep these two. And we have our map. Make sure that all of these make sure that the map or other graph that you have are in entire view. Let's put it entire view. entire view. Yeah, this is already an entire view to make it more clear. Okay, I need this one entire view as well. Okay, let's remove this one. So now we have everything. I can remove the title of the map as well. So I can go ahead and hide. Well, we can hide it from inside the dashboard as well. So let's hide the title. Now it's better. Okay. Just trying to make them wider because these bar chart includes more information than just the map. So it makes it more clear. But I'll do other changes as well in the future, but just let it be like this. And the last part or piece that we need here, let me double check that everything is okay. So this one is here. We have our horizontal. Okay. So the last information that we wanted to keep in this dashboard is our line charts. So I'll go ahead and put it here. We just need one. So I'll remove that. Okay. All good. So we have all the information. But if you look at my dashboard, you can see that we have background color. Each graphs are actually separated from its background, so it's more clear that we have different sections. So I want to show you how we can create all of these clean background and different separated section as well. So if you go to our first total sale KPI and go to the layout, you first need to select the whole horizontal container that we've created for these three different parts, which is if you name it, so it makes it easier to find. But if you don't name it, you need to scroll down to see which one is which. So right now, because you can see that the all of these three line charts are highlighted. So that means this is our second horizontal container. So after I highlighted and selected all of them, I need to go to the background and choose my background color. You can choose any color. Let's say this one, for example. So when you do this part, you need to select the individual blanks or individual section within that container and it'll be lower, and then go to this section. It says outer padding and inner padding. So what is this outer padding and inner padding? So the outer padding is the space outside an element's border. Like these are different borders, right? These are different sections that they have different borders. Like these are the borders. So outer is the space outside an element borders, separating it from other elements. So it separates this section from its outside. But inner padding is the space inside an element border. So whatever it's inside these sections, between the content and the border itself. So that's the main difference between them. And what we wanted to do is to separate the elements border from other elements, so from like those that are outside of these borders, to make it separate, like to make it looks like that there are separated different graphs or there are separated sections in our dashboard. So for that, I need to go and do any changes that I want to add in outer padding. So I go to the outer padding and it says all sides equal. So that means if you add any numbers, all of the sides will be automatically changed to that selected number. So we can, first of all, let's change the color of the background to the white. So now we can see the difference of the background color and inside of this container. And then after you've done this, you need to go ahead and select the outer padding. You can play around to see which is the best number for you, because as you increase or decrease the number, you can see the difference immediately in your dashboard. So probably this size, it works okay for now. You can play around. But first of all, I wanted to make it a little bit smaller, maybe. So you can do the same procedure for the rest of the KPIs. So again, go to the background, put it white, and then make sure that all of these outer padding numbers are equal to make it very consistent across all of your dashboard, and it looks nice as well. So this is 20. So for the second one, I'll follow the same number of 20. And then same thing for that, remove the background to make it separatable from the background. And then outer padding of 20. Okay, now it's very neat and clean. And we do the same thing for these two graphs as well. First of all, make sure that I remove all of these unnecessary filters. This is the region, this is selected, this is, yeah, I don't think I need that one. Okay. Oh, I guess that was the selected. So we need to go ahead and do the same thing as we did at the very top. So first of all, we need to select all of the shared horizontal container. So I'll go to the layout to make it easier. And try to see which one is which. So now we have this whole second container here. And then go back to the dashboard. Oh, sorry, go to the layout and change the background. Well, this was the color that I chose for the above containers. And then individual graphs background should be white, and then follow the same numbers for the outer padding, which is 20. Oh. And the same thing for the second chart we have here. Remove the background color, and then add the outer padding. Okay, I'll leave these filters because we need to change their space, but for now, just leave it as it is. So we just continue to edit all of these graphs. So for the last one, first of all, just remove the title. Okay. And make it a little bit wider. Okay. And select the whole container as well. Create the background color for it, and then go inside of that line graph, remove the background color to the white, so we can distinguish between inside and outside of this section, and add the padding. Okay, now we have everything in place, right? We can actually remove this part if that's possible. Okay, we can remove the last blank to make it wider. Okay, now we have wider space. And we have this one here. If we go to the map, yeah, okay. So everything is okay. And for the title, we need to do the same. So I wanted to change the color of the background of the sales dashboard. So if we go to the layout, and choose the background color, now is perfect. So if you go back and check my final dashboard, you can see that we have another container to just show you this information, like what are these two circles, and what is this two gray and dark color referring to. So for that, I need to have another container below this sales dashboard. So I go to the dashboard, horizontal container, and put it beneath this sales dashboard. make it smaller and change the color of it as well. Okay, and later on we can add all of the information we want. Again, since all of our filters are very top, so we need to transfer our filters to the very top as well. So I just make it wider. And just drag them. And then I just drag them here. So first is select here, the second is region, and the last one is select KPI. So the region is here. So just be careful you're adding in the white space, okay. Just then wider, and then select KPI. The other thing that we can do is to make the color of inside of these three filters white to make it as the rest of our dashboard. So again, I select the first filter and select white. Same thing for the second one, and then the third one. And the other thing that I want to make sure that they are divided equally. Like I want to make sure that all of these filters are divided equally. So to do that, first I need to select the whole container. So go back to here. So I have it, and if you click on here, you can see it says distribute content evenly. So now everything is even. And then the same thing for the rest of the container. Not this one. Yes. The second container, distribute evenly. There is some problem with this section here, which includes the map and bar chart. So we already evenly split this horizontal container and also all of the container above that. But once I reach to this, I realized that I actually created a child here, which is not correct, and I have two different charts in that. So you can like always double check the layout before further doing anything. So you can see that this is the vertical. We have first horizontal container, which highlighted the blue. And the blue border actually shows the main vertical, and then this is the first horizontal container, and then within this container we have all the information, the name of the title of the dashboard, the three different filters, and then we come to the second container, which highlighted again, and then the third one, which includes all these three KPIs. And if I open this up, you can see all of these charts here. And then after that, we can see that we have tiled, which would select these two, which is not correct. So I cannot evenly distribute them. If I basically click on here, you can see that I cannot, there's no options here to evenly split these two because they're in the wrong position. So what I can do is to remove this tiled by just right-clicking on this icon here, and it says remove from dashboard. So once I remove it, it's already removed, and I need to go back to the dashboard and select my horizontal container and put it down below this third container. And now I have my fourth container, and then drag the blank because we have two different charts, so I need to divide this blank into two. So now I can, now I can actually make this a little bit bigger. And then I can easily insert my map. And while you're doing, you can double check if you're in the right path. So you can see that we have our fourth horizontal container, and within that we have three different blanks, but I'll remove one of them. And then what else I need? So I need my bar chart, and then this would be removed, same as this one. So if I go to the layout again, I can see horizontal container, and within this we have two different charts. So now I can select this whole container and go to this section and say distribute content evenly. There we go. So we have everything on point. So I just drag it down to have everything clear. And then, so because we have only one chart, so it doesn't matter to evenly split this space. So we just leave it as it is. But we need to go ahead and change the space of the like the information inside of these border and outside, like what we did previously. So I need to go ahead and select it again, and then say background this color, and then select individual charts to change it to the white, and then doing some outer padding. It was 20, like the number that we used for all of the rest of the chart. So I'll apply the same number here, 20, and then same thing for this one. You need to go to the white, outer padding, 20. Okay. So we have now everything here. Okay. You also need to remove these because once you drag any charts, all of the filters and legend will be pop up in the dashboard as well. So go ahead and remove that. Also, we can go ahead and edit the format of this name. I think I go to the Tableau bold and make it as big as possible. Let's see how it looks like. Yep, but I prefer to be dark black, so change the color maybe a little bit bigger to see how it looks like. Yeah, now it's okay. So we have everything here. So make sure this is in entire view so that we don't have these scroll things here. So what you need to do is to go to this, select the graph and go to this section and then select entire view. So now you have all the information without any scrolling down. And it's better to just make it a little bit wider to avoid any overlapping of subcategory on top of each other. Let's see how this looks like. Okay, the line graph is very tiny right now, so I'll do a little bit. So the last piece that I want to add to this dashboard is some sort of explanation of what is this dark line in all of our line graphs here, and also what this gray line actually represents. And also explain about what are these two circles. Like, for example, to say this green is the highest cells or this is the lowest. So I want to add some explanation in this horizontal container that we've already created. So to do that, I need to create another sheet. I can name it as legend, for example. And what we can do is we need to first drag the current year to the text and also previous year to the text. And then in the title area, I can go ahead and add these years, and then I can say versus dot previous year. And then I want to create the circles. I already put the circles like in the description box, so you can go ahead and copy and paste it here. So I already copied the circle, so I can easily paste it here. So now we have all of the things, and then I can go ahead and change the name to the highest months, sorry, and then lowest months. I can change the size to 9, and then the font to Tableau medium. And then I want it to be current year color to be black, to align with the actual lines that we have in our line charts. And the previous year, it's in the gray in our graph, so I want to make that gray as well. And then also the color of the circles, so the highest is green, so I want to make this green as well. And then lowest is red. So I'll put apply. So now we can go ahead in our dashboard and include that in our horizontal container. So I go ahead and drag it and put it here. And I need to make sure that this is in entire view. Okay. And I just need to make the size of it a little bit. Okay. So if we compare this to the previous year, to the previous dashboard, so we can see that we have everything in place. We just need to make the title of the dashboards bigger. So I can do that. So I can make it as bigger as possible, maybe 16. And then bold, make it black. Maybe a little bit bigger. Okay. Yeah. So we have sales dashboard and okay. All right, so a little bit I want to move that onto the right side. So I go to the layout and use this outer line to see if I can change it to the right a little bit. Okay. I think now it's okay, right? So now everything is in the right place, and the only thing that I want to add is the filter. So here, if I select, double check the filters is working or not. So if I select the years, different years, I wanted to see the changes on over all of these 3 different KPIs. So let's say 13. So now we can see that the year is actually different. So the current year is 2013 and the previous is 2012. And that happens if I change it to 2014 as well. So I want to see the changes only on these 3 KPIs. For this select KPI filter, I want to see the changes only on these line graph, which currently is the case. So if I choose profit, I can see that these lines are actually changing. It shows me the profit, and then the same thing for the other KPIs. But for these region filter, what I want to do is, my goal is to, when I, for example, click on Canada, I want to see changes in the map to only select that area, and also want to see changes in these bar charts and also these line graphs. Because so like maybe user just wanted to filter down a specific country and see like the different KPIs pattern over all the years, and also understand about the profit margin and the discount based on category and subcategory, and also see that selected country in the map. So to do that, you need to make sure that you have this filter in your worksheet, which is related to this map, to this worksheet, to this bar chart, and to this line graph. I already have it, but if you don't have it in all of these 3 map, you need to go back to your worksheet. Like for this line graphs, I go back to the line chart and make sure that I already have this region and put it into this filter area. And then the same thing for map. I'll make sure that I already have this region in the filter area as well. And then the same thing for the bar chart. So you need to make sure that you have this region in your filter. So once you have that in your dashboard, that will automatically apply to all of these 3 charts. So the other thing that I want the users be able to do is to click on any area in the map and do the same filtration that I just showed you, that you can do through the region filter. Like let's say the user want to click on this area, Kazakhstan, and once it's click on it, like automatically this bar chart only show the category and subcategory profit margin and discounts based on that selected country, and also these line charts change to filter down by only this region or this country as well. So to do that, first you need to select your specific chart, and then when you do that, these icons will be pop up on the right side of it, and then you need to click on this icon, and after that you need to go to this dashboard area and select actions, and you can see that these filters automatically generated for you, and then you select those and click on edit, and you need to select your source sheet, which is our map graph. So because we want to do these changes or this filtration based on this map chart, so you select this map in the source sheet here, and then you need to specify when a user click on any area in the map, what other sheets or what other charts should be affected by that. So we wanted to bar chart to be affected by that. So which I mean this category and subcategory bar chart that we created. KPI profit, no, I don't want that be our target. And the same thing for the other KPIs, no legend. And then I wanted to include line chart and the map, which we already selected as a source. So we have only 3 of them. So now when you click on any area in the map, let's say this area, which is very low in terms of, or we have a large loss in terms of the profit margin. And if we see these information on the right side, on the right hand side, we can see that all of the discounts are are 70%. So we have a very large amount of discount, and that's why we have a very large amount of loss as well. So it's very interesting to see that. So I think I need to edit the title of this graph. So this should be margin, and also I can say and average of discount by subcategory. This way it's more clear, and then apply. Okay, and the only thing that I'm missing here is the title of this graph. So we already have this title, but I need to change the size of it, and then we need the title for the map, and then the title for the line graph. So we can go ahead and do these changes. I wanted to make this as medium, maybe 9, and then dark. Let's see how it looks like. Yeah. Let's see what are the sizes, because I like the size here. So 10, okay. So 10 work best for our dashboard. Let's say 10, bold, apply. Now it's perfect. So we have profit margin and average discount by subcategory. So now we have a title for the bar chart, and that we need the title for the map and also this line graph. For line graph, I already have this title here, so I can copy and paste it and show you how you can do it. So we need to go to the line chart, and you have a title, so you paste it in the title area. You better to do it once you're creating this worksheet, because in the dashboard, it would be difficult to just change it multiple times, but you can do it this way as well. So now you can see that in your dashboard, you have this title here, and also for the map, we need title as well. But if you remember, I removed the title in the map once I was dragging the map and putting it to this section here. So let's remove this. I guess I can remove it from here and then go to the dashboard and then add map. I think I need to first add one blank first. Okay. Now I can add my map. Remove this one, and now you can see that we have a title here. So the title that I've entered here is this one. So I can go ahead and change the name of it by this. So we have profit margin by country. I need to format, go to the layout, and then this is the whole container. Make it to this color, and then select this map and change it to the white. And as I explained, you need to add these outer to 20. There we go. So we have everything in place. So we need to remove these as well. Okay, all good. So we have everything. We have the title, we have all the main filters, the 3 KPIs, inscription of them at the top, the name and title of the map, title of the bar chart, title of the line chart, and that's it. So now we have everything. We have the title, the 3 main filters, description of these 3 KPIs, and the title for the rest of the charts as well. So everything is clean and neat and pretty clear. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. Don't forget to hit the subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.